I have issues, little tiny, eensy beensy, teeny weeny issues. Ants. I've been fighting ants for months, actually. And what I usually see is the scout. They send out scouts that look for food, and if they find something, they report back to the colony, and then the whole colony shows up. I squash the colony, squash the scouts when I see them. I was doing a video, I believe it was my seasoned potato wedges, and an ant, where I couldn't see it because it was on the other side, crawled up onto the cutting board, and then it stopped. So with some very careful editing, I just used that part of the video where the ant was holding still, so it just looked like a speck on the cutting board, and then shifted my voice over so that you couldn't tell. And that's how I hid the fact that there was an ant on my cutting board. What had happened? Things drew to a crisis. They drew to a head when, about a week ago, I was preparing some lamb to grill at a local park for a video from my other YouTube, one of my other YouTube channels, Cycling Adventures for Seniors. And in the video, you can see me trim the lamb. I put the trim in a Ziplock bag because I'm fairly careful. Don't leave any food out. Wash everything when I'm done, even wash down the kitchen counter. Don't provide anything that might attract ants. Zip the bag, take it outside, put it in the trash bin. Well, I forgot. I came home from the park. The bag was still there, open, and there were ants everywhere. They had found the lamb, the trim. I mean, it was garbage anyways, but I was too angry to even laugh about it. I can laugh about it now. Anyways, okay. Then I was eating, okay, not the healthiest thing for you, an egg and cheese burrito. Every once in a while, maybe once a year, I'll buy some cheese and some tortillas, and I'll make egg and cheese burritos once in a while when I want a quick treat. Actually, the tortillas get stale before I can use them all. It's a small package. Anyways, I had one bite left. Was working on my computer. I put it down on the plate, got distracted somehow, went away, came back an hour or so later. Ants crawling all over that plate. Okay, now I've tried several times to get rid of ants. I've bought these things. Maybe you've seen them in the store. They come like 6, 8 to a pack. These little domed things with a hole in the top where the ants can get inside. And there's some sort of little gelatin cake in there that the ants are supposed to want. No, they walk right past this. Not interested. So then I tried these things. They're liquid. They come with these little liquid things that you kind of crack one open and then set it up somewhere where the ants can find it. I had lunch with a friend today, and he used these on ants in his kitchen, and they loved it. They jumped on this thing, and it worked very well. I set it up. Ants can't be bothered. It's like, what's wrong? What's wrong with these ants? Have I spoiled my ants with my gourmet cooking? Now they only want lamb? Anyways, okay. What do? I'm not an entomologist. That's a bug doctor kind of guy, an insectologist, entomologist. I'm not one of those. But I do know how to Google. So I Googled on the internet to learn what I could about ants. Turns out there's 2 major categories of these household pest ants. Sugar ants and protein ants. By what they're looking for. Sugar ants look for sugar. Protein ants look for protein. And that evidently is what I've been having problems with, because the lamb trim, that's protein. Eggs in my scrambled egg burrito, egg and cheese burrito, and the cheese, that's protein. Okay, so I'm reading about how to take care of these ants. What's the best way to get rid of them? Well, they say a good bait is peanut butter because that's protein. So I went out and I bought a jar of peanut butter and I bought some of this stuff. This is boric acid powder. It's not really overly toxic, but you do want to keep this away from your pets and your children and so forth. But you mix some of this with the bait and then you let the ants discover it. And what they do is they bring it back to the colony because the worker ants that come out and gather the food, they don't eat it, but they bring it back to the colony. And that's where it eventually kills the queen and the other ants back in the colony, and you get rid of the nest of ants. Okay, so I mix them up with some peanut butter and I spread it on a piece of parchment paper, which is like wax paper, and put it down where I knew the ants liked to search for food. No. I even saw one ant who walked up to it, discovered it, ooh, and it just turned away, like it had discovered soap suds, right? Ants don't like soap suds, because they breathe through their skin, the exoskeleton, and the soap clogs the breathe holes and they suffocate. So they stay away from soap. So you think it was soap. I don't know what it was about that peanut butter. Maybe there was sugar in it. I don't know. Maybe I should have bought the expensive stuff, Laura Scudder's. I don't know. I think I've got spoiled ants. They want lamb. Okay, well, I got to thinking. They jumped all over that egg and cheese burrito, at least that little tidbit that was left over. They must like eggs, and eggs are cheap. I buy eggs at Costco, the 60 egg carton, and they're like 10, 15 cents an egg. They're very inexpensive. So that's what I did. I scrambled up an egg, ate most of it, but then I left a little bit. I mixed it with some of this boric acid powder, and then I put it again on a little piece of parchment paper, set it out where the ants could find it. Wham! They were on it. They jumped on it, swarming all over it. One problem with that is that because it's so exposed to the air, it dries out. And once it dries out, the ants aren't interested. They want it while it's still moist. So what do? Well, here's what I did. Cleaned out a jar, put the egg mixture inside, drilled some holes through the lid, right? And this is a good idea if you have pets in the house where you don't want the pets to get to the egg. You put it in a jar like this. They're not going to be able to get to it. Your cat, your dog, your goldfish, whatever. Anyways, I put that in the back office because my home office, I have ants back there too, in the kitchen and in the back. And bang, once again, they found this jar, and they swarmed all over it inside. They were busy for all day, well into the night, and somewhat the next morning. But the thing is, it stopped them. Here in the kitchen, I have not seen one ant, and that's what this is. This is like another test. I cooked up some fresh scrambled egg this morning. I even left the lid off so they could really discover it, right? Because of the aroma. And I put that where I knew the ants would travel looking for food. Did not see one ant. So this stuff works. This boric acid powder. The thing is, you have to figure out what kind of ants do you have. Do you have sugar ants or do you have protein ants? And the way to solve that is just put some honey down on a spoon or a piece of wax paper and put some scrambled egg down in an area where your ants are common and see which one they gravitate toward. If they're all over the honey, then you know you have sugar ants. If it's the eggs, you have protein ants. Another thing you can buy, but I guess this is better for outside. This is called diatomaceous earth. It's like the remains of diatoms, little tiny organisms, water organisms, and their skeleton is silica, which is what they make glass from. This is borosilicate glass. Borosilicate glass is very good as far as when you're going to be putting something hot in there because it has one of the lowest expansion rates between hot and cold, so it doesn't break. It's not going to suffer from thermal shock. So of all the common glasses, it's one of the safest glasses to have in your home. It can still break. If you drop it on the floor, it can still break. It's glass, but hot liquid going in there. Highly unlikely it will shatter. But that's what this stuff is. It's very, very fine silica. This particular product here, there's various grinds of it, and feels like soft talcum powder if you feel it with your fingers, but it's made up of those little tiny particles of silica, which is like little shards of glass. And what happens with the ants, you put it around the outside of your home, dust in areas where your pets aren't going to get to it and so forth. It's not really poisonous, but it's not good for the pets either. Put it in areas where, like under some wood, for example, where there's ants underneath there, and they will take that back to the nest, and because it's sharp, little sharp particles of glass, it'll cut their exoskeletons, and they'll all eventually die. So that's good for outside, but this I think is really good for inside, as long as you can keep your pets away from it, and this is one of the best ways to keep your pets safe and your kids. So that's what I did, and so far I'm free of ants. I know they're going to come back. They're probably out there right now forming new colonies, just waiting to get to lamb, but hopefully I get rid of them for a while, and if they do show up again, I'm ready. I know what to do. So that's my blog for today, my kitchen vlog. Perfect kitchen vlog. Kitchen ants, perfect subject for a kitchen vlog. That's my kitchen vlog. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If so, please click the like button. That helps. And subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Tell others about it. And thanks for listening.